Are you struggling to keep up with boxing? Download the Boxing Showtimes app for the latest fight schedules, full undercards, boxer stats, news, and real-time updates. It's more than just an app, it's the boxing community you want to join.
Boxing King Media, powered by the Riyadh season. We're here, it's 24 hours away from the biggest rematch. I'm billing it as the biggest rematch in boxing history. It's the Ring of Fire reignited. Adam, what you saying?
I can't wait. I'm really genuinely excited to be here. Fantastic to have the opportunity to call the fight on DAZN. Betting in nicely with the DAZN team this week. They're a great group, and yeah, just it's a massive fight. It's a really, really interesting one. It's a fascinating rematch that no one can predict exactly what's going to happen, which is what we love as fight fans. You know me, I love a four-rounder. I love an English title fight, but a world heavyweight championship and a second coming of what was a great fight last time in May is going to be thrilling. And Tyson Fury has locked himself away in Malta, and he's very, very focused. He knows how serious this is for his whole legacy, his career. You know, can he become a three-time heavyweight champion and follow, you know, great names, Muhammad Ali, Lennox Lewis, and very, very small club, and exact revenge on the one man that's beaten him in a professional ring. He's very good in rematches. John McDermott, Derek Chisora, of course, Deontay Wilder. I thought that was one of his great nights, maybe the best yet, the second fight. And he goes again. But sort of digging deep into his career, he's had a long journey. Been around since he was 20 as a pro, 36 now. And USYK seems fresher to me of the two. So yeah, that might be a part. But he's got all the assets, Tyson. Yeah, the size, the reach, the strength, and he ticked off those middle rounds last time. So yeah, he can win this fight. But I think USYK looks in phenomenal shape again. I think he'll be confident, having been 12 rounds with Tyson, having nearly stopped him, knowing that he can deal with any heavyweight out there. And he looks like he's getting even better at the grand old age of 37, nearly 38. So it's set up beautifully, and it should be a wonderful fight.
It should, and in case people are wondering what that crazy noise is, it's only in Saudi Arabia. We're sat in a nice fancy restaurant, and there's a drone keeps flying past us, filming us. So
filming you, I think. Yeah, it's keeping an eye on you, seeing your movements.
That's it. So I remember, when you had that hiatus from after your illness, a year plus out. I'm still grateful till this day that you chose me to give me your first interview back. And I remember talking to you about potentially you doing commentary on the first Fury Usyk fight, and obviously it never came off. And obviously most British boxing fans recognise you as the voice of boxing. You're like the Michael Buffer of commentary. Without blowing smoke up your ass, but. So for you to get this gig, back on the obviously on the DAZN, new channel for you, but leading the comms on Saturday night, like you just tell me, like, what does that night compare to any previous big fight night you've had?
That's a really good question, and thank you. I don't see myself as that. I just love what I do. There are many great commentators out there who are far better than me, but I think in terms of passion and in terms of loving fighters and being around boxers all my life, loving the sport since I was a kid, watching Tommy Hearns in those gold trunks and getting hooked on it, Barry McGuigan being at his world title fight at Loftus Road when I was 13, and yeah, growing up with Mike Tyson and Chris Eubank I loved, and then joining Sky as in my early 20s and working with these legends. It was phenomenal. I worked with Barry McGuigan. He was my hero for a year when I started Sky, going around the gyms. And yeah, I got to meet so many great fighters through the years. Wonderful seeing Oscar De La Hoya at the Ring Magazine, the relaunch event last night. Vladimir Klitschko, Lennox, all these fighters that I spent so much time with in training camps and reported on for many, many years. So yeah, look, I've had an incredibly exciting, fortunate boxing journey. I love fighters, and I've grown up with them. Ricky Hatton, Joe Calzaghe, Nassim Hamed, you know, been there for Carl Froch's big nights, Anthony Joshua's, and now a huge one for Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk. And I've done a lot of Usyk fights, not many Fury, a lot of Fury in the early days actually, but of course he wasn't really on Sky. So yeah, it's a big night. It's a big rematch, and as I say, I love doing Izzy events, you know, GBM and the sort of smaller ones at the moment, although he's fast growing in Sheffield and alike. You know, great fight nights and these sort of prospects who are 10-0, 12-0, in with the seasoned journeyman. They've all got a fight to win. They've all got a story, but there's something special, A, about the World Heavyweight Championship, B, about these two fighters, polar opposites in character. Alexander Usyk, an incredible athlete, a wonderful ambassador for his country, a humble man. Tyson Fury, unpredictable, charismatic, crazy, fun, entertaining, dramatic. Never know what you're going to get next with him. So it's great when you get these stories. And yeah, I love fighters and I love stories. And when it's at this elite level, you've got to be excited. So it ranks right up there. But I'm really lucky to be alive, as you know. I did that first interview with you. You were very supportive to me. You helped me a lot when I was ill, and a lot of the boxing fraternity did. Eddie Hearn was one of the first to visit me in hospital, and you know, I was in a really bad way, and you remember those things.
Let's talk about, you know, I know you've done a few predictions for the fight, etc., but let's talk about the controversy, because whenever there's a big fight on, whether it's somebody arriving late at the arena, gloves controversies, whatever, and I've heard rumours and noises. There's been a couple of things, so I'm hearing issues with the judges being changed, and also some question marks about the size of Tyson Fury's beard. So you tell me from your experience what's happening with the beard. Does he have to shave it off? Does it have to be a certain length? Because I know John O'Call's got quite a big beard, and I'm sure he fought recently. And then you've got the situation with the judge. Obviously, I don't know, you know, apparently a judge has been changed.
A big fight without a big controversy the night before? Surely not. The two of them are going to get in the ring in, I don't know, what is it, 36 hours time or so, not even that. And they're going to put on the display the performance, hopefully, of their lives, and that's what we want to see. Of course, we love the behind the scenes tales, the the little psychological advantages that they're looking for at this stage. The 11.5-minute face-off after the press conference. George Warren ran up to me and said, I've just got another judge. I've sorted that out, so we're okay. We've got 3 judges and an AI judge, I think, as Turkey Al Sheikh's bringing in for this one. So there'll be plenty of judges. Obviously, there'll be that. Do they agree with them? Do they not? Everything will be settled. As far as the beard goes, I'm not quite sure on that. It seems to be different rules in under different commissions. We're under the British Boxing Board here, of course, and yeah, I know John O'Carroll has a big beard, and many others have fought with sort of certain lengths. I mean, I think Tyson hasn't shaved since he went away and knuckled down into a long, hard training camp. I guess he'll remove it before fight time. I don't know. Are they worried about cuts? Are they worried about, I don't know, the scratchiness of a beard? You tell me. You've got a slight beard there. I know. I had one many years ago for a play. I grew a beard at university, but since then I haven't had one, so I don't know. Really, is it?
Well, I can only go by what I've seen on comments in the comment section. People reckon it protects your chin and softens the blow. I find that really hard to believe. I don't know. You tell me. I don't know.
I can't believe that. Really, I don't know. As I say, but there's nothing there really, is there? It's I don't know. I mean, I think. Maybe the look as well. Yeah, I mean, this is one for the British board. This is one for the sanctioning bodies, the officials. It's not one for us. It's just one for us to wait and see. And I guess there'll be a ruling at some stage, and maybe Usyk's team will put their case forward, and the Fury team will put their case forward. Maybe we'll have a half beard.
What I'm doing whilst we're talking, I'm literally googling the British boxing rule on beards.
It's probably got to be a certain length, I'd have thought. Is that right? Or...
So what I'm finding here is apparently in 2018, Robert Smith, there's a statement here saying that they've lifted the rule on no ban on facial hair. We removed a similar rule a long time ago, said the General Secretary. It was only reasonable and common sense to lift it. So judging by that, whilst we're talking, I'll try and see if I can get something more clear on
Danny
that. But
Williams have a beard at some point in some of those heavyweight battles. I'm just trying to think who has. You're right, John O'Carroll's a good one.
interesting, beards are allowed in professional boxing with a caveat being that it must be trimmed to a certain length.
Yeah.
The boxing board rules do state that a fighter's jawline must be visible during a fight, so facial hair isn't altogether prohibited.
Like your jawline.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And a neat trim.
Yeah, so he's going to have to trim it by looking at that.
Well, a lot of fighters have haircuts and other things. They have superstitions, don't they? Close to the fight. Alexander, I think, wants his hair back. Alex said to me that he likes his, feeling the waves of his hair. And when I saw him at the AJ Dubois fight, he was, he had that sort of almost like a quiff. And he's had the different hairstyles over the years. He shaved it all off, obviously, for the Hitman look for the press conference. And it's only grown back a little bit. And Tyson's, he used to have big, thick hair, didn't he? Once upon a time, almost like Elvis looking. And now he's reliant on that beard. I think it takes him back, doesn't it, to the fighting man and the lineage and the.
Let's
genes.
talk about the drama yesterday. So we saw the press conference starts. Tyson doesn't say a lot, keeps it very simple. So does Usyk. They have that long face up, I think 11 minutes, and then towards the end of it, Tyson effed and jeffed and offered him every threat under the book. And I think Usyk kept replying that I won't leave you alone, don't be afraid. He just kept replying that. They got separated. Then Tyson goes out and has a bit of a dance with some local Saudi cultural dancers. Good minute long, with a bit of stick and everything. Usyk came out and did a bit of a dance as well. Only in the boxing world that would happen.
Yeah, and wasn't Tyson wearing a suit that he said it's lilies and blood and all sorts? So, again, psychological warfare ahead of battle. You saw many sides of Tyson Fury last night, and we see many sides of him throughout his career. What we do know is that he's a very, very good fighter. He's been a brilliant boxer for many, many years now. And the big question is whether he's still got it at this stage of his journey. I think one or two signs. The Ngannou fight was a poor one. Obviously, most people felt he should have been stopped in the 9th round last time out. And if you dig a bit deeper, how good was he against Chisora in that third fight? Yes, okay, won the rematch. Then they had the third. Dillian White knocked out fairly easily. You got that big third fight he had with Deontay Wilder that probably took a lot out of both of them. So, and Usyk has had sporadic fights. I was sort of doing my research. He's only really fought once a year, apart from this year. This is going to be twice this year. So he's kept going, almost like solid training. And I know that Alexander was looking back at the fight that night, the next day, to look at his mistakes. So look, he's a consummate professional. Tyson whips himself into shape and almost into sort of grueling and the best possible physical and mental being he can be. Locking himself away, turning off his phone, not even talking to his wife. Spartan, sort of a brutal regime, which is what he needed to do. Maybe that's the answer. Maybe he's going to give us another career-defining performance tomorrow night. It will be an amazing story if he does. Another comeback. A 3-time heavyweight champion, writing his name again in the books forever. But the question is, can he still do it at this stage?
The question I've got for you on that, I'm going to pause you on that, is we've seen the majority of people are picking Usyk to win, and a large majority this time. And last time it was 50-50, but this time 80-90% are all picking Usyk. Shane Fury, who I spoke to a few days, and he made a really good point. He said, when Tyson wins, and he does it in fashion, will people class him as an all-time, one of the all-time top 3 greats? Because he said at the minute people are saying Usyk's one of the greatest. Is Tyson going to jump into that? And people have to give him the credit if he does.
I think both of them are two of the greatest heavyweights we've seen. It's very difficult to compare and contrast eras when heavyweights were a lot smaller. Back in the day, 50, 60, 70 years ago, the pound-for-pound mythical list, Muhammad Ali is a heavyweight. Was he greater than Sugar Ray Robinson? it's all speculation and debate and stuff we love to see. Most people, Darren and I were chatting over breakfast today, and we both agree that Sugar Ray Robinson was the greatest fighter, but that Muhammad Ali was the greatest sports person of all time. Tyson Fury is one of the great characters of boxing, full stop, period, and will always be remembered as that, the Gypsy King. And for what he's done for me, I agree with him. I think the greatest thing is the fact he's come back from his despair, his depths, his, suicidal thoughts, the massive weight gain, the problems. That coming back to even get in a ring, I think, is his biggest achievement. But winning a world heavyweight title out in Germany against Vladimir Klitschko as an underdog, regaining it in that thrilling performance against Deontay Wilder when he did something that few people thought he would do and go on the front foot and take the fight away from the aggressive Wilder. And then now, if he does the same against Oleksandr Usyk as an underdog again, you've got to say Tyson Fury will be right up there in the pantheon of greats. Of course, if Oleksandr Usyk wins, he's beaten Joshua twice, he'll have beaten Fury twice, Dubois, Chisora, everything at heavyweight, and he's also cleaned up at cruiserweight. So you'll have to say he's one of the greatest fighters of all time, should he be victorious Saturday night. So I think both of them know how much legacy, how much history is on the line. Both of them are knowledgeable, experienced men who, especially Tyson, who loves and digs deep into the boxing history books. Oleksandr Usyk tells me it's all about dedication. As a 15-year-old boy, he was a footballer. No one said he could be a boxer. No one said he could be a heavyweight. No one said he could be an Olympic champion. He keeps proving people wrong time and again. And you say 80-90% of people think Usyk wins this fight. That's not what it felt like on the Lennox Lewis tour that I was on a few weeks ago. I thought it was very much 60-40 maybe in favour of Usyk. People are still backing Tyson.
I'm going by the people everyone I've interviewed. It's literally been 90%.
Maybe. I think there's a lot of people out there that still think that Tyson's got the attributes to win this fight, that he's got the height and reach. And it wasn't a massive, wide 6-7 round victory to Usyk in the first fight. It was a close fight. I felt Usyk won by 3 rounds, others by 2, by 1. Some people even thought Fury nicked it. It wasn't a robbery or anything. So there were times where Tyson Fury was dominant in that fight. The problem is, I think, that Usyk found an answer and that he was so devastating in that 9th round. But Fury is made of incredible stuff. He's come back time and time again. Is it one last massive hurrah for Tyson Fury? Or is Usyk going to win again? Whatever happens, I think both will carry on, because I think the Fury-Joshua fight is still there to be made. I think it's still the biggest casual fight in world boxing. And Oleksandr Usyk told me in camp that he doesn't want to give up now. He's loving it. So I think we're going to be in store for more big nights with the pair of them after this. The question is, will it be 1-1 and a trilogy, or will it be a double for Oleksandr Usyk, and Tyson will have to go back and lick his wounds and maybe come back in that match we've all been waiting to see against Anthony Joshua, and then Oleksandr Usyk may fight Dubois, may fight an Italma. There's many others that he could do out there. Obviously, he'd love, I'm sure, to fight in the Ukraine one day when it's settled a bit more, hopefully, for his beloved country. So there's more, I think, for Usyk to do and more for Fury to do. But nothing matters apart from tomorrow night for the two of them. It's all about getting it right. It's all about who will go out of that ring come, 2 a.m. Saudi time, in the early hours of Sunday morning, with not just the world title belts, the Ring magazine, the new Rumble in the Jungle treasure. It's not about that, really, for me. It's about pride. It's about history, this fight. It's about the annals, the storybooks. And both of them will want to win this so badly. And they've got different ways of showing it, which is in line with their personalities, which is why we're all hooked on it.
Yeah. I'm going to give you one last question, a very short, simple answer. 2 words you can only say. Who wins?
Fight fans win. And I think that's the best answer. I'm not going to pick. I'm calling the fight. There's a lot of ways this fight could unfold. I think Oleksandr Usyk is the rightful favourite going into it. He should win, but Tyson Fury could win. The best Tyson Fury, if he can turn up Saturday night, he could become a 3-time heavyweight champion. I'm just not sure the best Tyson Fury is still there. But he's proved us wrong so many times. So yeah, I think I understand why most people are picking Usyk in this fight. It's probably sensible. He won the first time. But it's heavyweight boxing. Fury's in phenomenal shape. Usyk's in phenomenal shape. And as I said, fight fans win. These are events, these are fights that we as spectators want to watch. And it's not just the anticipation and all the hoopla before the first bell. It's when that first bell rings and we stand back in awe, really, as two gladiators go to work, putting their careers, their livelihoods, everything on the line for those 36 minutes. It's still a sport like no other. So yeah, the fight fans win.
Great answer, Adam, and all the best Saturday night, and we'll look forward to seeing you back on the comms at the biggest stage of it all. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
In fact, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to let the fans, hopefully the ones that are still watching, give them an idea where we're sat, just so they can appreciate the setting of this beautiful restaurant, outdoors, nice weather, just before the sun goes down.
Yeah, it's lovely, isn't it?
It is.
Sun setting on us.